Your irons are only as good as the shaft inside them. Most golfers spend hundreds, sometimes thousands, on club heads and then drop the stock shaft in without a second thought. Here's the truth. The shaft is the engine of your iron. It controls your launch, your spin, your feel, and your accuracy on every single shot. Choosing the right one can be the difference between hitting that approach tight or watching it leak right into the rough. Welcome back to Golf Gear Now, where we dig into the gear so you can make smarter decisions on the course. Today we're breaking down 5 of the top iron shafts on the market right now: steel, graphite, and everything in between, so you know exactly which one fits your swing. Before we jump in, all 5 product links are sitting in the description below with the best prices we could find, so make sure you check those out. Let's get into it. The KBS Tour Lite Steel is one of those shafts that a huge range of golfers can genuinely benefit from, and it doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves. If you've been playing heavier steel shafts your whole life and feel like your swing speed is quietly costing you yards, or you're getting into reshafting for the first time and want something proven and trustworthy, this is where the conversation starts. KBS engineered the Tour Lite to be 20% lighter than their standard KBS Tour shaft. That reduction in weight directly translates to more clubhead speed through the hitting zone, and more clubhead speed means more distance. KBS's own independent testing showed the Tour Lite averaged 9% more distance over its competitors, and that's not a marginal gain you'd only notice on a launch monitor. That's distance you'll feel in your hands and see on the course. What makes this shaft worth talking about is that the extra distance doesn't come at the expense of precision. The unique materials and construction maintain tight dispersion, so your misses stay manageable. In regular flex, it launches high, ideal if you're trying to stop the ball on firm greens, while the stiff and extra stiff options bring the trajectory down to a mid-high window with slightly more weight, around 100 grams to 105 grams. The butt diameter is a consistent 0.600 inches across all flex options, which matters when it comes to grip installation staying consistent set wide. One thing to confirm before ordering, the Tour Lite uses a tapered 0.355-inch tip, so you'll want to make sure your iron heads are compatible. A quick conversation with your club fitter takes care of that. Golfers who've been playing a heavier steel shaft and watching their playing partners carry it past them, this shaft has a real answer to that problem, and it doesn't require you to abandon steel to get it. There's a whole segment of golfers whose iron game is being quietly undermined not by their swing, but by how their shafts feel in their hands. And the UST Mamiya Recoil 760/780 ES SmacWrap IP was built specifically with those players in mind. The central technology here is SmacWrap, a viscoelastic material integrated strategically into the core of the shaft, and its entire purpose is vibration absorption right at the source, before that harsh feedback ever travels up the shaft and into your joints. If you've dealt with arm fatigue, wrist sensitivity, or elbow discomfort after a round, that's your current shaft working against you. The SmacWrap changes that equation in a meaningful way, delivering a noticeably softer, more dampened feel at impact without turning the shaft mushy. Beyond vibration reduction, the recoil technology built into the shaft walls creates a spring-like energy transfer through the hitting zone, adding ball velocity and helping push distance numbers up without requiring any swing changes from you. The enhanced stability, that's the ES in the name, tightens shot dispersion, so your off-center hits don't wander as far offline. The ion-plated finish gives it a premium, polished look that holds up over time compared to traditional painted shafts. The 2 weight options, 60 grams and 80 grams, cover a wide range of swing profiles. The 60-gram Recoil 760 in senior or regular flex launches mid-high with 4.1 degrees of torque, while the 80-gram Recoil 780 tightens that torque down to 3.5 in stiff, giving faster swingers more control over shot shape. Both are parallel 0.370-inch tip shafts, so compatibility check with your irons is a quick but important step before you order. If you've been tolerating discomfort in your iron game because you assumed it was just part of playing, this shaft makes a compelling case that it doesn't have to be. Few names in golf shafts carry the track record that True Temper Dynamic Gold does. It's been in the bags of tour players for generations, and the Dynamic Gold 100 Mid takes that same proven foundation and rebuilds it specifically for golfers who need a lighter weight steel option without losing what made the original great. The design philosophy here is precise and intentional. A stiffer midsection is paired with a softer tip, and that combination does something specific. It activates the tip section more aggressively through the downswing, generating additional launch and spin at impact. If your current iron shafts are leaving you with a boring low flight that can't hold greens, or if you've moved to a modern iron set set with lower spinning heads, this shaft was engineered to fix exactly that. It complements today's iron technology rather than fighting it. At 105 grams in regular flex and 106 grams in stiff, this shaft sits firmly in the lightweight steel category, which means a more lively feel than traditional heavier options without the complete shift to graphite. Mid to high trajectory, 0.355 inches tapered tip, 0.600 inches butt diameter. Specs that slot cleanly into most standard iron configurations. Real golfers who've reshafted with this option have reported measurable distance gains, particularly in wedges where that softer tip really activates. The honest trade-off is feel. This is steel through and through, and you'll know it at impact. There's a directness, a sharpness to the feedback that graphite players might need to adjust to. But for players who actually want to feel the shot, that's not a limitation. That's the point. A tour-proven shaft rebuilt for the modern game in a weight class that opens the door to a whole new tier of distance and ball flight, and at a price that makes it an easy decision to try. Before we get to the last two, quick pause. If this kind of in-depth gear breakdown is helpful to you, hit that subscribe button so you never miss what we're putting out. And all 5 shaft links with current pricing are right there in the description. Takes 2 seconds to check them out. Now let's keep going. Mitsubishi has been building composite shafts for over 30 years, and the MMT graphite iron shaft is one of the most technically interesting things they've ever made. What separates it from every other graphite iron shaft on this list, or really any list in this price range, is the material itself. MMT stands for metal mesh technology, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Individually braided strands of 304 stainless steel are woven into a metal mesh and integrated directly into the graphite prepreg layers toward the tip of the shaft. That's the part of the shaft that matters most in an iron, where stability, load, and energy transfer all converge at impact. The metal mesh increases density and stability in that zone while actually allowing for a thinner overall composite wall than you'd find in a traditional shaft. Thinner walls, better responsiveness, more precise feel. That's a difficult combination to engineer, and Mitsubishi has pulled it off. The weight range on the MMT is genuinely broad, 57 grams in ladies flex all the way up to 98 grams in the heaviest stiff option, with regular and senior flex options at 73 grams and 62 grams sitting right in the middle. Torque drops significantly as you move up in weight, from 5.9 degrees in the lighter options down to 3.4 in the MMT 90, which tells you that heavier swing players get real control benefits at the top end of this lineup. Mid-trajectory across all models, 0.370-inch tip diameter, and a butt diameter ranging from 0.586-inch to 0.600-inch depending on the weight class. The one thing to plan for: this is a shaft that rewards professional installation. The technology is sophisticated enough that getting the tip prep and assembly right is worth doing properly. Bring it to a qualified fitter and let them handle the build. If you've been curious about what a 3-decade composite engineering pedigree actually feels like wrapped around stainless steel mesh, the MMT answers that question in a way most golfers won't expect. The Aerotech SteelFiber CW has earned something that no marketing budget can manufacture. The SteelFiber line has accumulated more PGA Tour wins than any other graphite iron shaft in history. That's not a category claim or a positioning statement. It's a factual record built over thousands of competitive rounds at the highest level of the game. The CW in the name stands for constant weight, and understanding what that means is key to understanding why this shaft performs differently from everything else on this list. In a standard iron set, shafts get progressively shorter from long irons to short irons, and in most shaft lines, that change in length means a change in weight. That weight variation affects swing weight and feel differently across each club in your set. The constant weight design eliminates that variable entirely. Every shaft in your set, regardless of length, weighs exactly the same. The result is a uniform swing feel from your 5-iron all the way through your wedges, and that consistency is something golfers feel almost immediately. The construction is what makes all of it possible. Steel fibers are integrated throughout the graphite composite, producing a shaft that's more consistent in flex, geometry, and straightness than a conventional steel shaft. In the I-95 model available here, the 95 grams weight delivers torque numbers as low as 1.8 degrees in X-stiff, exceptionally low for a graphite shaft, giving you control that rivals what most players only associate with heavy steel. Low to mid trajectory, 0.355 inches tapered tip, 0.600 inches butt diameter, and flex options from regular through X-stiff. Worth noting, the I-95 specifically has been the shaft tour players reach for when they want to transition away from heavy steel and recapture distance without giving up the tight, precise feel they've built their games on. If you've ever wondered whether a graphite iron shaft could actually feel and perform better than steel, the SteelFiber CW is the shaft that's been answering that question with wins for years. And that's our 5. Whether you're looking to gain distance with a lighter steel, quiet down the the pain of harsh feedback or step into composite technology that tour players have trusted for decades, there's a shaft on this list that fits where your game is right now. The right shaft won't just change the feel of your irons, it'll change how you score. All 5 links are down in the description. Drop a comment and let us know which shaft you're gaming or which one has you thinking about making the switch. We'd love to hear from you. A like and a subscribe helps us keep this content going, and we'll see you in the next one.